up? What's 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 up with you people? How y'all doing? How you doing? The man is back in the house. We're gonna try this nonsense again. But in anticipation, my behind needs a drink. Where everybody at? Where y'all at? I don't know where you're at, but I'm here. As long as I'm here, as long as well, as long as if it's Thursday night, I'm gonna be here. I don't know if you guys know this, but I was a little bit of a thespian in high school, which basically means I was in the drama club. Go figure. And we did everything. A drama instructor, name was Henry Bennett. Hi, hi, hi. And Mr. Bennett taught kind of the Russian Stanislavski method, which basically means it was method acting. So in high school, actually, when I was in second grade, Scooby Doo premiered on TV, and to that effect, I used to go. I watched TV, and I would go to school, and I would do all of these impersonations of whoever was on TV. Um, Turn down some of these notifications and carrying on. Some of my people will let me know what's happening in the state of Florida with DeSantis and McCarthy and what have you. And a couple of my followers actually got mad at me because I wasn't doing politics every week. So, with that being said, I'm going to do a little of this and I'm going to do a little of that. I'm going to let people in the house and doing shows like this, but I think I may also let you guys in the house when it comes to talking about politics. So I could just kind of gauge where everybody is um, as we go along. Um, Before I even get started, I want to say welcome to my early arrivals. Welcome to my early arrivals. Pinky, I'd like to bring you on. So if you come to my Green Hat show, I mean my Green Hat Facebook, I could probably get you on camera. I don't know if you want to participate. Um, Last week I tried to bring somebody up, and it wasn't just Facebook. She said, "Man, I'm laying in bed in my pajamas." I started to say, "Okay, we was trying to keep it PG, but if you want to make it R, you know, if you laying next to y'all hubby, we could get to your commercial breaks." I don't know. The FTC might not like it. The FCC might not like it. But as far as it's concerned, so I want to say, hey, what's up? What's up, people? How y'all doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? The man is in the house. We're gonna try this one more again. We're gonna see if we can make this work this time. Um, let's see what happens. Facebook has assured me that I can bring up to three people on camera at a time. So we may see how that works. I'm gonna test them. I'm gonna test them. I'm gonna put them to the word. Just got off work, so I'm about half. Here's another one. She's about half naked. How you get about half naked? I just want to know. Inquiring. Either you naked, so you just naked on the left side of your body, but the right side you got your clothes on. Are you naked from the waist down? Are you naked from the waist? Does that mean you took off your makeup? I don't know. Inquiring minds want to know. Please, please, please. please. What's up, fam? What's up? What's up? What's up? We got about three past the half. I'm gonna give it a couple minutes to get some people in here. You notice this week I didn't advertise the way I did last week, and I kind of did that on purpose. I didn't know if that contributed to the the fact, if that was contributing to, I don't know. Um, so I wanted to just kind of play with some things, play with the camera, with the audio, play with the production before I went anywhere else with this. So, 4 past the half. What was I? Oh, I was talking about being a thespian when I was young. So I used to watch things on TV, and then I would go to school and I would do those impersonations to those characters or what have you. And when Scooby Doo first came out, I had this teacher in second grade. Now, my sister was 18 years my senior. So my sister was teaching school by the time I was in second grade. And I don't know if this woman, this teacher I had in second grade, and my sister had history of what, but I couldn't do anything right in her class. And that was unusual because I was accustomed to people liking me and what have you. So if you guys are old enough, there used to be this Alice in Wonderland cartoon with all of these celebrity voices, and Sammy Davis did the Cheshire Cat. When he did that, he was singing his song "With a Nice Girl Like You," doing it in a place like this. With Sammy being cool, he ended the song with "What a Nice Girl Like You," doing it in a funky place like this. Well, back in the days, we couldn't say darn the hard way. We couldn't say darn. We couldn't say you're lying. You have to say they're telling a story. So back then there was a lot of censorship, and the schools were a whole lot more strict than they are now. Consequently, I got into trouble for singing this song and got sent to the principal's office. Long story short, the principal, I had a male, this was the first time I ever saw a man as a principal. So I thought it was a setup. I didn't know if he was undercover cop or not. I'm 7, and I'm thinking, I've been woke for a long, for a long time. So I'm sitting in the principal's office, and he starts doing this impersonation of Yogi Bear. And I looked at him and I'm like, that's a setup. I ain't falling for it. So then he did something else. I can't remember what the second one he did, but I know the third one he did was Donald Duck. And of all the impersonations I could do, the one I could never do was Donald Duck. So it caught me off guard. And I said, I could never do Donald Duck. And he started doing this and he says, well, which ones can you do? And I said, hey, boo boo, I'm smarter than the average bear. The forest ranger will never catch me, boo boo. So we go back and forth with these things. And he says, young man, you're very talented. He says, we're going to have to find you an outlet to express yourself. He says, but I said, you going to call my mama? He says, no, I'm not going to call your mother. He says, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let you sit here for a little while, give your teacher time to cool off. So I sit in the principal's office and we went back and forth. And he actually started putting me in little plays. Then fast forward to fourth grade, I had a teacher, Miss Adams, and she introduced us. She was the super bougie, high yellow Creole of New Orleans. She came from that class family. So she started introducing us to Broadway musicals. So, we were doing South Pacific, West Side Story, all of this in third, fourth grade. Said all of that to say this. When I play with the thing here, In high school, we did everything from Sty the Blind Pig, Blues for Mr. Charlie James Baldwin, to Tennessee Williams, Streetcar Named Desire, Glass Menagerie, and we did Neil Simon, Barefoot in the Park. So I played Paul, the Robert Redford, and then he gets drunk because his wife was this ditzy little blonde, Jane Fonda. She played Corey. So he gets to this point where he's kind of inebriated. He's got this big case in the morning. They're newlyweds. He just got married. So this is my this is my this is my I'm playing. I'm not really drunk. I'm just pretending to be. So anyway, I'm gonna take a little sip of this, and then I'm gonna start my show. With that sip, I want to say is what? Wow, it's almost 9 past 8:30. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the show. I want to say good evening, welcome to the show. Um, we got some clouds outside. I don't think we're gonna get some rain, but I'll just give you guys some heads up. As this progresses, as we start to bring people into this virtual studio, I'm going to start moving towards a Zoom platform. But right now, I wanted time to prep you guys for this, and I wanted to give Facebook a chance to redeem themselves. So I know some of you guys are tech savvy, and some of you guys are just getting along. So I didn't want to just make this sudden move. I wanted it to be gradual and a little at a time. And with this, they say I can bring up to 3 or 4 people, 3 people on the camera. So I've got a lot of people. I call this my red hat profile and my green hat profile, which basically means on both hats, on both shows, on both pages, I'm wearing the Straw Boulders hat. One, I have a red and blue band. The other one, I have a green and blue band. So most of you guys are on my red band show. If some of you want to come over to my green band, I know I got all of these stipulations and carrying on, huh? Just like black folks. Now I'm not trying to be extra. I'm just trying to figure out some of the logistics of this thing so that it could move seamlessly. So I want to say good evening, welcome to the show. Before I do anything else, I always start my show off by saying thank you for taking this time to tune in on a Thursday night. As always, I start my show off by saying I'm truly humbled, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. She switched. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Of all the things you could be doing on a Thursday night, for you to take the time to come up in here and either get some knowledge that I have, to listen to me break it down for as politics is concerned, and break through the political jargon is special to me. Now we're going to be moving, our format is going to be moving not just to current events, but events and things that affect us as a community, as a black community, as a people community, as I call it a minority community. That minority could be anything from women to black folks to Latinos to um, the have-nots. Now, the have-nots is really the majority, and this is not about being woke. This is about being conscious. And if you realize that, simply because we have a couple trinkets and we have a few dollars in the bank and quote unquote, we consider ourselves middle class, um, we're still a have not. Unless you have that kind of money that you can, blow. When they said Kanye blew a few 100 million, so he's no longer a billionaire. And I'm like, ooh, wow. I blow I blow $500, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be ready to kick somebody's behind. And if you the one that made that made the suggestion to me to invest in I don't know electronics or whatever the case may be, then you and I we not only might not be friends, we might be I might have to lay some TD Jakes hands on you and heal you because I feel like, you made something off me. So with that, I want to say, my name is Hank Batiste. The name of my show is called OMITDALOGIC. Tonight, the voices in my head are buzzing in anticipation. I call this the Let's Do This Again. Let's do it again. I've not been this excited since I don't know when to change this format and see how works and to reward you and turn this show over to you because over the past 3 years, you guys have supported me. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Last week, we tried this, and one of the things that happened was we had poor connections. So, bringing people up on camera was next to impossible. Tonight, I'm going to try to bring up a few people. Facebook has assured me that I can bring up to 3 people at a time. I'm going to try to beat the system since I've got a red hat and a green hat show. My red hat show has most of my followers. I have over 2,500 followers or something crazy like that. And I started trimming it back. A, because I can't get notifications from you folks, and B, because I think when I start to do a show like this, it may add to the complexity of bringing you guys on camera. Since most of you guys are on both pages, I'm gonna ask some of you to come over to the green page, especially if you want to be brought up on camera. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Um, we're talking about dating. Dating um, in our what I call our golden years. For some folks, and everybody said make it over 60, and I said, well, a lot of people don't see 60. So I wanted to start with the age of 40, 45, 55, and 60, because that's the time in our lives that we have done a lot of things professionally. We've peaked. We've usually had children. I don't know. We've gone through a divorce or two, or we've gone through a critical relationship or two. Could be the mother or father of our children. So at that point, we should know what we want out of a relationship. Other than this, I'm trying not to look at some of my Facebook people, but because I got one person over there who's showing out. First, she says she was half naked. Then I see this little text that says she's in a drawers. Okay, thank you for clearing that up. Inquiring minds wanted to know. You ask a question, you might get the answer. Um, so at this stage of our life, especially as we get into our 50s and our 60s, I've always been popular. So I'm not impressed about this fake popularity called social media. Consequently, I see a lot of women and men, they call it thirst traps and this, that, and the other. But 10 years ago, they couldn't find their way out on a Saturday night. Now, because they take 473 photos to get 5 good pictures that look the best representation of them, and they post it, they become overnight social media sensations. Add to that the fact that once upon a time, our dating circles were fairly close. The people that lived next door, the people that lived in our neighborhood, the people we went to school and church with. Now, because of social media, we can date from around the country, around the world, if we so choose. In situations like this, it just adds to the what I call a conundrum of social media. So, with that being said, that's my intro. I want to bring a couple people up. I talked to a couple people up front, and the first person I want to bring up is I'm gonna try to bring up Lorene. Now, Lorene is one of those people I kind of wanted to I guess I wanted to start off with her because she's a little animated. I say she's crazy, but I'm gonna scale it back now because last week a couple people, it included the woman in the draws, GRAWLZ, said that Lorene is not crazy. Okay, Lorene is like this little sister that I didn't know I had, and makes me glad that my moms didn't do this. So I'm gonna try to do this and see how it works. Um, on the other hand, okay, oh snap, it works.
You are not going to keep calling me crazy on Beyonce internet.
Folks, we have Lorraine on the other green hat page. I should have put on the red hat. Red means stop, green means go, and she's already indicated it. So say good evening to the folks, Lorraine.
Good evening, everyone.
And she's up in here playing with her hair. Good evening, everyone. If you can't see on the other camera. Um, One of the reasons I wanted to bring Lorene up, I met Lorene back in, I guess, like 2012. We were in this group, meet and greet, Atlanta meet and greet group. And we met in Atlanta, and she and Robin and a bunch of those people, and I just hit it off. So we've been cool ever since. And don't be waving at me. I see you. So I wanted to
I'm
bring
waving
you
at
up.
Marjorie.
But over that period of 10 years now, I've seen her go through uh, a relationship from, I would call it an inception, where they were dating to when they got engaged, got married, and now they're no longer married. So I felt this was a unique perspective. So, Lorene, you got the mic.
What you want me to talk about?
You- Your behind ain't never. You see what I'm saying, people? This is any other time I can't shut her up. You talk about what you want to talk
Give me
about.
a topic. Give me a
You,
topic and I'll talk.
okay, dating. Let's start with this. How did you and
Okay.
your ex-husband meet?
Um, my cousin was a stalker. He actually was following me on through the group, and was at some of the meet and greets, but he never approached me. So, for those who don't know what a meet and greet is, it's like a cabaret, but
We
it's
all
where people
we
come.
here. We know what a meet and greet is. It's like a
Okay.
cabaret. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Uh, but he approached me and said he wanted to dance, and I like to dance, so that's how we initially met. And after that, he sent me a Facebook message, and we talked through there. So we gradually progressed from there.
Okay. How long from the time when he made contact till you guys start dating to when you decide to get engaged and ultimately married?
We dated discreetly for 18 months before we announced it to other people. And um, by the 2 year mark, he had moved to Philadelphia. That was in 2013. We got engaged in 2014, and we got married in 2016.
Okay. All right. The thing I was kind of make mouthing was discreetly. I think that's really cool, and I'm not playing. I just want to interject. Hey, I think it's cool because sometimes you look at people online, and today they're single, tomorrow they're in a relationship, and they want to tell the world about it, and 2 weeks later it's complicated. So, okay, um, what happened over a period of time?
My soon to be ex, he's not ex yet, um, he came into the relationship with some previous trauma, and we addressed it through counseling and was making progress with it, but he started to regress. He stopped going to counseling. He agreed with a lot of black men. I don't need counseling. I'm okay. Yeah, a lot of black men don't think they need counseling. So uh, I was patient. I tried to. I'm not perfect. Anybody who know me know I'm crazy.
You said it.
I can say it. You can.
Hallelujah.
um. So you know, I'm not an arguer. Like I don't argue. I don't complain. I just point out what I don't like and what I would need for you to fix it. In our last conversation, I told him that I think he needs to really reconsider counseling because the issues were starting to show themselves amplified, and I wanted him to fix it. And I told him we need to go to counseling and apply change behavior. 3 days later, he was packed and go.
Wow. Okay. That's deep. To me, it's deep. The other thing that, and here's the thing, I'm gonna let you guys decide what you want to divulge, but I played what I call remote control dad, which basically means I had children out there in another house, and I was trying to make sure that they were safe from 1,000 miles away. And even if you're around the corner, things happen, and you have to be concerned about your children. I brought all of this up because Lorene has a young daughter. And the thing that I was always concerned about, and I would always talk to any man that had anything to do with my ex wife, my baby mamas, and what have you, is I don't have a problem with you unless you do something that jeopardizes my child. And then we got problems. So, okay, I'm not gonna 3 days
Well,
later.
to each your mind, you know my parenting style with Linda. You know the issues um, and differences with Linda. The first 2 weeks were hard, but she's fine now. She and I went to counseling individually and separately. Um, she she because of her differences, out of sight, out of mind. So every now and again, she brings it up. I just tell her it's okay to miss them. It's okay to be sad. If you want to cry, you can cry, but we're not going to stay here. Like, we're going to address our issues and we're going to move on. When somebody removes themselves, you let them fly away and go on with your life. So, her biological father has always been around. He just was never present. That's just a whole nother story. But
Okay.
when he found out about what happened, he did increase his communication, and he actually is planning to come actually visit. That was another thing that was an issue in our marriage because of my ex-husband's insecurities. My daughter's father couldn't visit us, so he could only video chat and call on the phone. Um, when we moved to Arizona, that became difficult. But when we lived on the East Coast, and when we would go visit to North Carolina, my daughter saw it. But when we moved to the West Coast, the visits had to pretty much stop.
Okay. All right. All right. Um, Thank you for sharing. I know that this is new. I know that these, what I would call, I don't want to call them scars, but I would say the issues are raw because you, like you said, he's not completely X yet. And the other reason I wanted you to just kind of share is because I always tell us if we're going through it, we can be the help. We can be a demonstration to someone else who's kind of
And
following.
I want to expound on that. I never told everything was fine. The only reason people found out that we were no longer living together is he posted, I got a screenshot of a post he made. I didn't unfriend him. At the time, he didn't unfriend me. But even in our marriage, I didn't go to his Facebook page because what he did, I didn't, I'm not one of those social media sleuths. I'm not doing it. That's too much energy. But
Social
I
media
got a
sleuths. I like
screenshot
that.
um, from one of the DMV area individuals asking why I didn't tell them we moved back to the East Coast and they wanted to meet up. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And that's when I got the screenshot. He had announced that he had gotten a job at a local business in the DMV area. And I was like, well, you're going to find out. You might as well hear from me. And I told them, well, that phone call turned into 50 more phone calls and texts. That I was in Facebook jail at the time because I went in on somebody. So I was on 3-day incarceration, waiting for the jail to come
Hold
to
up,
my
hold
hood
up.
every
I'm
day.
sorry. I'm sorry. I gotta. Please, 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 please. Let's stop calling it Facebook jail. This is censorship. Anytime we say
Well,
something and they decide to silence us by cutting us off, but they allow folks to amass, followers of domestic terrorists, black folks, let's
mm-hmm.
stop putting ourselves in jail, please, just for me. Okay. So you
So
got censored.
um, yeah, I got censored. And um, these were just friends calling. Like my family didn't know yet. And one of my twin sisters found out. And she called me and I told her, and she said, well, why don't you make a video so you won't have to keep saying the same thing over and over again? And I said, I can't. I said, well, I can make a video explaining, but I can't post it because I'm being censored. She was like, I post it and I'll make it public and I'll tag you in it. And that's what I did. I pretty much just, by the time you guys saw that video, I want to say maybe 3, almost 4 weeks had gone by the time the video surfaced. So I had no plans on saying anything. I'm just going to go ahead on. I did not see myself coming back to the East Coast, so I didn't feel like I was going to run into anybody who would notice that I didn't have my wedding band on. I didn't change my relationship status on Facebook. I just removed it. So, I was slowly removing myself from the situation. And it was that video that a lot of people sent me private messages. People I didn't even know were going through the very same thing I was, and was going to do the same thing I was doing, and not say anything, just go on with life. But a lot of people said that me being transparent about some things that I shared. I never said his name. Those who knew who I was married to, knew who I was talking about. Those who knew the situation, because I didn't want to. One, I never, not even now, I pray that whatever it is he is seeking, God gives him. I wish him nothing but the best. I don't want, my thing is, I can't look to God for blessings and for my intentions to be manifest and hold bitterness and anger in my heart. So, even now, I will always love him. He was my husband. He was my husband. But he needed more than I could give him, even though I was willing to try. So he wanted out. He was he was never a prisoner. So I let him go. I literally stood out on my balcony and watched him get into his lift and drive off. That was my last time seeing him. So, you know, I changed account information, passwords, all this stuff because you're not going to have access to me. You made the decision to leave, so I gave you that.
Mm.
But me being transparent actually helped a lot of other people accept what they were dealing with. So,
Thank you, babe. Thank you for sharing. I'm a I'm gonna give a I'm gonna just I'm gonna just put a couple other people on only because I want people to. I don't want to be the one just giving my opinion. I see Audrey up in here, and she's Audrey is
Let me tell
she
you something about when Audrey found out, and
no,
Audrey
I already
started
won't know.
calling her.
That's
She's not a
it.
starting call type of person. But Audrey made, honey, I love her. She is my cousin, as Tracy said, sister mom. I love her. She called me, and I'm not going to repeat what she said, but honey, I laughed so hard I cried. And I just told her I love her. A lot of
Well,
people don't have
and
certain girls being
this
ladies.
is the thing. I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna let you go. This is the thing. I met you guys at the same time. You just have that charismatic craziness. You automatically become someone's friend. He, on the other hand, I just kind of felt uneasiness, jealousy, and I'm like, yo, man, if my thing is this, if you with anyone and you can't trust them, you shouldn't be with that person. My other thing is usually the
Trust me,
person I
can't
know.
trust
Hold
me.
up. Because usually the person that's making all the fuss and acting jealous is the one that's doing something. So I'm just gonna leave that alone. I don't get in other people's business, and the same
Well, I'll
thing.
say this. I like you guys in the meet and greet, and I can say this. Um, a lot of people in the meet and greet see me as Olu's little sister. Biologically, I am not, but I have known Olu and Animal. I grew up in the same neighborhood as Animal. Um, so I was always the little sister in the meet and greet circle because I think I was one of the youngest ones at the time. Because all of you guys, I think, are like
Watch him out.
almost.
Watch him out. Just watch him out. Just watch him out. Just watch him out. I'm
When y'all
seasoned.
graduate high school,
I'm
you are
seasoned.
freshmen.
I know what you're saying. Um,
But I love it because those big brothers were the ones who were like calling and making sure we was okay, even now. So I appreciate, and I just, that's my personality. I'm just very personal. Just, Audrey said, y'all old farts. I ain't getting into that. um, I'm just personable. I like being around people. I like having fun. I like to laugh. And when you guys saw that I wasn't out there trying to hook up and do anything, y'all just was like, this girl just want to be out here just amongst the people. So y'all just love me, and I just love that from that. And in Atlanta, I just was like, oh, Remy ain't no. I thought you was a bully. I thought you was a bully till I physically met you in Atlanta. I said, he's just a big old teddy bear.
watch him out. Watch him out. I got a reputation. It's time for me to let your behind go. Bye, you. I ain't no teddy bear. I'm a grizzly, damn it. I'm a grizzly. I'm a grizzly.
Okay, Grizzly.
But be good. Bye, baby. Okay, here's the deal. Um, I want to bring some of the brothers up. I see the women. I see the women. I see the women. I want to bring some of the brothers up. Mike, Betts, I see you out there. Kirby, I see you out there. These two brothers are animated as hell. So let me just let the editorial people know before I bring this sister up. Um, I cuss every now and then. The only thing we got in common, I cannot be held responsible. You know how they always say the network cannot be held responsible for this guest. Um, so God bless you, Luther. Um, I cannot be held accountable. This sister is my Scorpio sister, and she's a little more animated. So if Lorene is crazy, Audrey is insane. Audrey has, since I've known Audrey, and ironically, I met Audrey at the same meet and greet. We became friends. A little bit more convoluted then because she was married at the time, and then when she moved to Atlanta, we became friends. We became tight. And unbeknownst to most, we would talk on the phone quite a bit. Um, because she was one of them chicks that like Marvel. So we used to talk about everything that was Marvel, like two little kids. You know what I'm saying? But I've watched her go through this thing too. And the reason I brought these two sisters up first is because they're not in their draws, Angela, Panky. I ain't saying no names. And B because I've watched them both go through the difference with Audrey. She was married, then she was single, and she always said she didn't just want to date. She didn't come out with this little corny cliche. I'm dating with a purpose, which I think is utter bullshit. Because if you're wife material, and I'm gonna just say this, and this is my opinion, if you wife material and a man is looking for a wife, a man is gonna find you and make you his wife. You don't have to twist his arm or manipulate him or hold back the nookie or none of that other stuff. So with that, Audrey, I don't have sponsors, but Facebook is Facebook. Let's not both wind up in censorship. Let's cut that jail. Censorship, censorship. So I want you. We've been on. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to just kind of bring the people through what you've gone through, your journey, and I'll be like a long-winded ass Lorraine. Oh, I love her. I love her. I know you will. That person. No, he calmed you. And like I told you, we talked about this, and I said this brother really calmed your storm. You have this dynamic. Scorpios will strike in an instant, and he's your calm. He really calms you. So, dude, how did you guys meet? I know some of this, but how did you guys meet? And I'm not surprised. I'm gonna take another drink. I'm gonna take another drink.
right at the beginning of 20. Okay, if you can believe that. And we were getting into a really good groove, and then COVID hit. And so my daughter, because I had my own apartment, my daughter said, "Are you coming to stay with us, or are you going to stay with Luther?" And she said, "Because if you stay home by yourself, you are not going to do what you're supposed to do, and you're going to get it, and you're going to get sick." And she didn't want that to happen. And so he was at the house at the time, and I said, "Well, if he gets it, then I'm going to get it because I'm going to have to go out there and take care of him because I don't, he was by himself. He's a widower." And so he looked at me and he said, "Well, this is rolling right along and we're doing really well. Why don't you just come on and stay with me? Let's see what happens. Let's see what comes." So that's how we met. That's how we literally went into lockdown together. So at that point, it was going to be sink or swim. And, and there were times that the water got really high. And I was like, in my mind, this shit. But I'm going to hang in here. I'm going to hang in here because there was something different about him. But before I came into the situation, I told him, I said, "Look, I'm not for playing around." I said, and the age really didn't have anything to do with it, but I'm not playing around. I'm not looking for a dick. I'm not looking for a role. I said, I'm looking to see, what's what. So, and I said, and this
This
ain't
mother
really,
said she wasn't looking for a dick.
oh,
Like a man could have something other than a dick. Okay, go ahead. I'm
there
sorry.
you go. Yeah, you got to bring something else to the table.
Right, 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 right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I told him, I said, if we click and we're talking, partnership and all the rest of it. And so that's what happened.
Cool,
So
cool.
here I am.
Put Luther on camera for a minute.
He is in another room and he is watching
Look.
basketball. He don't
Oh,
have
okay,
anything.
okay, 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 okay.
Yeah, but
The reason the reason
he's
I
the calm to my storm.
the reason I thought about that is because you guys have a unique relationship, and you're the only person. I brought up what I thought was successful relationship that fell apart, and B, I thought
Mm-hmm.
about you simply because you guys actually somehow found each other in the midst of all of this, and the fact that you did it during COVID was really crazy to me because um, I always say I don't date. I always say
Yeah.
I know I don't always know what I want, but I'm damn sure of what I don't want. So sometimes I
Exactly.
define the positive by a negative, if that makes sense. So
Yeah, no,
yeah, so um I'm still looking for these brothers. Where y'all at? Where y'all at?
well,
Um,
and before him, I had met some great people. I really had. But either I was at a certain point in my life and they were in a certain point in their life. And so we just couldn't seem to make the connection. So I have some really good friends, especially the moderator of this particular podcast.
right,
and
right, right.
But I kept them. And that was something that was very important to me. When I met him, I told him, I said, I've always been a woman who had more male friends than female. So I said, but if I'm true to you, then you don't have anything to worry about. Okay. If I'm not true to you, then hey, what can
If
I
I'm
say?
with you, I'm with you. If I'm with you,
Yeah,
I'm with you. Um,
exactly.
this to me, I always say, and I don't want to play Oprah and just and interject myself and my experiences in this, but I'm looking
Mm-hmm.
for a couple the brothers. I'm looking for a couple people, um, and I see them, but I always say I'm not a dater. My daughter says I have poor boyfriend skills. I said, sweetheart, I haven't been a boyfriend since before I met your mama. So,
Oh,
and
time to grab.
Yeah, she's 40 years old. Her brother's 44. So imagine that. I just don't want to be relegated to, what's your favorite color? What's your idea of a perfect date? Are we going to the movies and all of that esoteric, what I call bullshit, because there's another way to describe it.
Right.
Um, here,
And he was a little bit older than I am. He is the first gentleman I actually went out with besides my first husband. When I married my first husband, we were childhood sweethearts. We got married right out of high school. I always tell people it was a good marriage because he was the one, obviously, I was supposed to have my two kids with. But after 20 years, we grew up, we grew apart.
right.
So there was anger in the middle, but now, we're friends, we're best friends. We just formed, because, he remarried, I know his wife. So he was older than I was. When I moved to Virginia, and then when I came to Atlanta, everybody in those gaps were younger. So again, I think that because I know this is about 45, 55, 65, whatever, I think that some of the men that I met, a lot of the problem or a lot of the issue was that they weren't where they wanted to be, or they weren't where they felt they should be. And I had always heard the adage that, a man can't really settle down with anybody until they know who they are. And then they can make an advance to whomever they wanted to make an advance to.
Now you brought up a good point, and this is why I wanted to bring some brothers up, because I hear women say this all the time, and I know brothers who quote unquote don't have their shit together, but a lot of the women that I meet, they did not have a plan for this stage of their life, so they're gonna be working forever in a day. I wanted to get to a point where I could do like some of my white colleagues and take, because when I was making money, I had to make money because I had 6 kids. I had
Mm-hmm.
6 kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When the Temptations made that song, Papa was a Rolling Stone.
They put your picture
They
on it.
they they kind of, it was the 5th
They
of
put your picture
October. It
on the.
was the 3rd of January. Is the 29th of September, and the 15th of the following October that I became a father, and I had to put all of my plans on hold. So at this
Right.
stage of my life, I've worked my behind off, and God bless me, I'm starting to see the fruit of my labor. But by the same token, and since the brother's not going to step up to the mic, I'm gonna say this for the brothers on behalf of the men, those men who have worked their behinds off, those men who do have their shit together. We meet women who ask for things, ask us to do things for them that A, they can't do for us in return, and B, they can't even do for themselves. So,
Yeah. So you gotta have a plan, because everybody's gonna age, and I think unfortunately for men or women, they just kind of work till they get to a certain point, and then they're like, oh, okay, well, what am I gonna do next? Or I haven't, saved money enough, or I haven't planned for my retirement. Because hell no, don't nobody want to work forever. But thankfully, I'm like you, and I think that's Scorpio, and I really do. We decided early on that okay, my life is headed down this particular trajectory, but if I'm going to do it alone, I've got to be able to take care of me. Okay. Now, one thing I was adamant about when I met him, I said, I don't need or want you to take care of me. Okay. I want you to want to be with me, and I want you to love me, and then the rest, will
will
come
take care of
after that.
itself. Will take care of itself.
Exactly.
Cool.
Exactly.
Cool. Um, when I hear from brothers, I have I have friends. I probably have 4 men who are my friends. So I'm your mirror image in that I have more female friends than I have male friends. Unfortunately, a lot of brothers look at each other as competition, like we're competing for the only piece of nookie that's left on the planet. And I always say, if we looked at sheer numbers, Will Chamberlain ain't got nothing on me, you know. And I'm not bragging. I'm just saying I grew up in New Orleans. New Orleans has always been Sin City before Vegas had that designation. So nudity and wild living was something that I just knew. You know what I'm saying? So when I got to a point, because I made the mistakes that I made as a young man, and part of this was two things. When you talk about, I saw my parents, and I define my life by not their negative, but I saw both my mom and my dad work till literally they could not work anymore. And as a result of that, they didn't enjoy. Now, my mama lasted longer in her retirement than did my dad, but I saw that. My dad retired when I was 13. I lost my dad in 3 years. So my dad died just short of my 16th birthday. And so I saw this. And what I said is I wanted to, in my lifetime, A, because I had big aspirations as a kid, I wanted to be a lawyer and a doctor because my brother was the Black Panther, literally. My brother met Bobby Seals and became a Panther and did the whole nine. He served time for robbing banks and all of this kind of craziness. So this was my only brother who was 17 years my senior. He said, "Young brother, the revolution will not be televised, and you got to become a lawyer so that you could get the brothers out of there because we can't trust this and we can't trust that." My mama said, don't fill my son's head with that foolishness. Son, we need more black doctors. And so I said, okay, I'll do both. And my mom tried to teach me. My mom was a quintessential philosopher, but my mom could not teach me to become a man. A, because at that age, I was like, Mom, you don't understand. Yeah. So I want some brothers up here. I don't want to be representative of everybody simply because my experiences are my experiences, but I don't know if they're everybody's experience. Brothers have a tendency to sit in the back until, well, yeah, to observe or to wait until, it's popular to speak their mind. So with that being said, I'm looking at it. I'm gonna take this for about 10 more minutes, and I want to bring some folks up. Audrey, thank you so much for sharing, sweetheart. Um, always, always. Tell brother LW from the heart. All right now, later. So, okay, I see one brother up here. I see one brother who wants to come on camera. Where the rest of y'all at? I made some contacts beforehand. Now I'm gonna bring this me and this brother. I'm gonna bring you up on camera, Roby, and let me introduce you behind. Let me see if I can bring you up. Um, okay. Now Facebook is being Facebook. Let's see. Let's try this one more again. Okay, it's saying I can't add them because of technical issues. Let's see. Oh snap, girl, girl, girl. Um, don't show me your bed post. You better show me your face. She asked to come on camera, and then her behind go hi. I don't need to look at your head. You. Oh, she ran. She ran. She ran. Um, here's the deal. I don't date simply because I don't want, I didn't date when I was a kid. When I made up my mind I wanted to be with somebody, I wanted to spend time with them and organically see where that relationship went. In this time of social media dating or whatever this is, we've got people who are on websites, and every time they turn around, you can't get to know me if every day this website is sending you 10 other possibilities and flooding your consciousness with people who look good on paper. Now, the only thing I would contradict Audrey with is Facebook say they vet these people to make sure that they are who they say they are. But the truth of the matter is, on social media, everybody, and I won't say everybody, but about 85%, I'm gonna say 15% is honest in who they are and what they're looking for and what have you. Me and a girlfriend had a conversation about, you know, telling somebody what you're looking for. So, ladies, when you tell someone, I'm looking for this, I want a gentleman who's going to open the door, I want a man who's going to do this, that, and the other, she said you've given them their playbook, your playbook, and they know what to do. So, imagine your favorite football team, and I'm going to use this example. John Gruden, Chucky, he was the head coach of the Oakland Raiders. Halfway during the season, they got rid of Tony Dungy, and Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay bought Gruden in. And ironically, the Buccaneers wind up playing the Raiders in the Super Bowl. Gruden had their entire playbook in front of him. He could look at a formation and know exactly what they were doing. So I said that that Super Bowl should have had an asterisk on it. So imagine going into a relationship with someone who's suddenly popular, because some of these guys are what I call late bloomers. Once upon a time, they were they couldn't buy a date in high school, and suddenly they got a few trinkets, so they put everything that they have on social media to look attractive to you. And then you tell them everything that they need to do to get next to you, to be with you. So as a man, I don't do it. I spent 41 years as an administrator in a leadership position. So when I interview someone, be it for a job or the leading lady in my life, I don't tell them what I'm looking for. As a matter of fact, I don't even ask those questions that I know they have a pre recorded answer for. I'm not going to ask you what's your favorite color. I'm not going to ask you what your sign is and what's your idea of a perfect date. And if you could go anywhere, where would you go? And if we were, this is not dating again. No, this is my life. So I want to know that you are who you say you are. Or more importantly, I want to know that you bring to the table what I'm looking for in a leading lady or someone special in my life. Now, in fairness to some of the women out there, if you caught me at a certain time in my life, and this is in defense of some of the men, we have things going on. Just like Lorene is going through some things coming out of this marriage, and I'm going to leave this right here. She's not necessarily ready to move on. If she were by herself and she didn't have a child and she didn't have a circle of friends, as most men are, because when we come out of relationship, it's us, unless we have a dog. And usually it's our boys that's our dog. And we see these heathenous brothers and we try to just jump back into it, and we're not ready. So we bring some of that baggage. The analogy I use about baggage, when I go into a new relationship, I say, imagine, if you will, the last relationship you had was to the Caribbean. So in that suitcase, you've got tanning oil, sunscreen, and swimsuits, and short sleeve shirts, and shorts, and what have you. So now, with this new relationship, we're going to Alaska. We're going to the Arctic Circle. So what I need you to do is unpack that suitcase and pull out all of that stuff, and let's start anew. So I wish I could have brought more people up on the show tonight. My brothers, my brothers, my brothers. I guess they're gonna see this on Facebook, and I'm gonna hear about it. This is part one. This is this is part one. I think what's going to happen. I think the brothers is going to step up and be part two, and you won't just hear my voice. You just won't hear some of the things that I've been through. So, with that being said, I want to say thank you for tuning in. With that being said, I want to say, as always, before I leave, go to my YouTube page. That's it right there. OMITDALOGIC. If you put that word in on YouTube, you'll find me, and sign up, subscribe. I've got over 175 videos there. When it comes to to policy, public policy, when it comes to politics, when it comes to medicine, I know a few things. Every every prediction that I've made since 2007 has happened. Um, Subscribe, ring the bell, look through some of that stuff. The first thing you're going to see there is a 5 minute spoken word that I wrote on the day of the inauguration, when little Amanda was pouring her heart out. And Audrey, by chance, just happened to be the one who came at me and said, "Why you got to be so negative? Why you can't just enjoy it?" And I'm like, I've seen America renege on her promises too many times to believe in this milk and honey that's being sold today. So I spoke on it, and the name of it was, in hindsight, 2020 ain't 2020. So check me out. I will see you here next week, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, 6:30 Central Standard Time. Same Baptiste time, same Baptiste plate. And as always important, I wish you love. I wish you peace. Two fingers to the sky. And like you're mad, I wish you had grief. I'm out of here. Thank you for tuning in. I love you. Ain't a damn thing you can do about it. Good night, folks. You too. You and your drawers. Next time, put some clothes on. I want to hear from you. Cynthia, I was waiting for you to come over, but I want to hear some guys too. So talk to the guys. I'm gonna post this on Facebook, and hopefully I hear from some of the men. You guys be good. Appreciate you. Love you. Good night.